to have a fancy background for this video, but my boyfriend is using the mechanical keyboard, which honestly is so loud and like clicky clacky clacky clack that I feel that if I film in that room, it's like I'm filming in the middle of Dunkirk. Hello beautiful people! Hi, my name is Mia and oh my god, I'm blinding you with my light again. I'm so sorry. Hi, it's been a year since I've been on YouTube. Some of you may have been with me from the beginning. Some of you are new. We have 1K people following me and I'm... holy fucking shit. I still can't get over it. I am so happy and flattered that so many of you are willing to put up with my bullshit. Thank you guys so much. And it's interesting that I hit 1K just as it was my 1 year anniversary. And I feel that the year didn't really pass all that slow. Like it was like this. Like I feel that I started YouTube just a few months ago and not a year. And then I realized, oh my god, my first video that I ever did was done in April. And April is now upon us. And holy shit, it's been 365 days, or give or take a couple more. I'm starting to realize that the older you get, the faster time flows, and that's making me confront my own mortality and temporality, and that's kind of scary. So we're not going to go on that tangent because I don't want to start the video off sad. Yes, it's been a year. It's been a journey, and I've learned a lot of things from it. And I decided to put up a list of things that I learned and hopefully have a laugh together, reminiscence together, just, you know, try to bond a bit at the mark of this huge momentous moment. So the first thing that I learned when doing YouTube was that I am more annoying than I thought I was. And I don't mean that in a self-deprecating way. I mean that in the sense that when you start editing, you are faced with all of your verbal tics and body language and idiosyncrasies and bad speech patterns, if any, or mistakes in pronunciation, mistakes in how you breathe in and breathe out during your sentences. For example, I noticed that I fucking love to choke on long ass sentences without taking a breath, and then I take one of these long ass breaths in between my sentences because I'm literally grasping for air, and I have to edit that out, and it gets so goddamn annoying. Don't regularly see yourself talk or interact with people unless you film it, and the average person, well, doesn't do that. So you are kind of faced with all of these things that you wouldn't necessarily realize about yourself, and you either gotta accept them or you'll end up a steaming pile of insecurities. Like I had to accept the fact that I had this bad habit of not breathing between sentences and just being very run on, and as I said, drowning on my own words because goddamn, why can't I just breathe? I had to contend with the fact that sometimes my English pronunciation is not as good as it would be. Like, I'm still scarred for life that I pronounced Twitter as tweeter in one of my videos. And of course, all of the verbal tics, and so, up next, the ums and ahs, everything you've gotta contend with, edit out if you have the time. You realize how much these speech fillers fill in your daily language, and yeah, it fucks you up a bit, so get ready for that if you ever want to do YouTube. Second thing that I realized, yet again contending with me being who I am, was that you gotta accept that from certain angles you will literally look like a potato. Unless you are some sort of above average beauty, you will look like some sort of vegetable from certain angles, and you will have to learn which are your good and bad angles, which lighting you look best in. I still haven't figured that out entirely, but I feel that I'm kind of getting there slowly but surely. It's like you gotta realize how average looking you are. And I'm not saying that, again, I'm not saying that is in a self-deprecating way, like it's nothing bad about being average. Like, we can't all be top models. It's not physically possible. You gotta realize that you are not used to seeing yourself from all of these angles, and that video versus photo versus mirror is a whole different reality. I mean, of course, if you're willing to put the work into it, there are certain makeup artifices to make you look exactly like you want to look, but I'm too lazy for that shit. I don't want to do the whole contouring myself into chiseled perfection thing and then have people not recognize me in the street. I'm just way too lazy for that. No, I just gotta content with the fact that from certain angles, my head looks like a perfectly round egg. Third thing that I learned is that you definitely will develop a YouTube persona. And that's not to say that you are not genuine, or that you lie, or that you're fabricating this whole identity just to be on camera. It's more like you cherry pick some parts of your personality that you choose to show on camera, and that becomes a sort of caricature of yourself that you choose to present and use as your avatar in the YouTube world. Because we people, we human beings, are very, very complex creatures, just layers upon layers upon layers, like an onion, and you can't show all of that on camera. You have to have a bit of consistency to be able to connect with the people behind the screen. So for example, for me, the parts that I choose to show on YouTube are that I'm funny, that I'm sassy, that I'm salty, my love for art, my love for color, for sparkly shit, this ever-evolving magpie brain, all of that sort of stuff. This is what I choose to show on camera, and that is also part of my real life identity. But you can't show everything that you're in real life on camera. I can't show how good I am at my job, how I love doing IT support, because this is a makeup channel. People aren't interested in that. I can't show how much of the mom friend I am, how often I talk about my cats, even though it's slowly leaking in this channel as well. I can't show all of my social justice propensities, even though, as I said, it's slowly leaking. Like, you gotta compartmentalize a bit, because you gotta stick with the theme that you chose for yourself if you want to be consistent. If you don't want to be consistent, you go right ahead, do whatever you want to do. But for me, I definitely had to show a certain part of myself, and sometimes you feel pressured to always come up that way. Like, sometimes if I'm not in the mood for colorful makeup, or if I'm not in the mood to be very made up, or if I'm not in the mood to be high energy and sassy, I sometimes feel like I shouldn't film, because that's not what you guys want to see. Like, you gotta deal with the depressed ass bitches enough in real life. You don't want to deal with it on YouTube as well. And as I said, this is the meaning to be self-deprecating. It's just me accepting the fact that you cannot be, as a regular human being, 100% of a way 100% of the time, no matter how consistent your personality is overall. Next two things that I learned relate to editing and creating. So you will have a big learning curve with editing if you will want to edit your videos. I feel that with all creative endeavors, be them visual, audio, kinetic, what have you, you will always have a picture in your head of what you want the thing to look like, and then you put pen to paper, or your face on video, or your feet on the ground and start dancing and whatever, and it doesn't come out as you imagine it to be. There is a point where that image starts to become more and more similar as your skill grows, but it will never get to that perfection in your head. It's a learning curve with editing. Like, I imagine my videos edited in a certain way, and then I realize that I am limited by my own time, my own technical skill, my own lack of videography. Like, you can spend time learning, but it's not gonna be instant. You're gonna have a learning curve of shitty edited videos, and they're going to start getting slowly and slowly more marginally better. And then if you are like me, you will discover that you can zoom in on the footage in your bare bones free editing program, and you will feel like you discovered fucking fire. It's interesting to say the least. It's humbling to realize that it's not as easy as you would think it is when looking at these people at their own channels. The other thing, I lied, it's not 2 things, it's 3 things related to editing. It takes a fuckload of time to put out quality content and not just a stream of your own thoughts on videos. Like, editing takes me so goddamn much time. It's ridiculous. For each video, I spend at least 2-3 hours editing and then exporting and searching for background music and for visuals and whatever the fuck I want to insert in that video. It takes so much time, and you definitely gather a sense of respect for people that actually put out more content than you, because you're like, how the fuck do you find the time? How do you manage? How do you slot it into your day? Maybe it's also my fault because I have a slew of other creative hobbies, and then I have a demanding job, and I love what I do at my work, so I really do try to invest a lot of energy into it. Like, tangent, but I'm seriously such a capitalist dream. I am such a worker bee. I actually enjoy doing IT shit and helping people. I'm such a people pleaser, and it's kind of disgusting how much I'm kissing my own ass right now, but I like to think that I'm a really good employee that actually loves their job. So that takes energy. And then coming home, trying to have a social life, that again takes a lot of energy for me because I'm not a socially inclined person. To me, developing and maintaining relationships takes a lot of effort and energy on my part because I legit have hermit tendencies. And I also draw, I also write. I want to make time to actually just be a bit with myself. You gotta slot all of those in your time, and especially all of these hobbies, my creative hobbies, are time consuming. You can't draw something in like 5 minutes unless you're doing a quick sketch, and you can't read unless you make time for it, and you can't write unless you make time for it, and same with video. And I developed a huge appreciation for people that can do this with consistency and just putting high quality content all of the time, and I'm like, how the fuck do you do it? What kind of witchcraft, sacrificing your firstborn to Beelzebub type of shit is this? What are you doing? Third thing in this little category is that finding the perfect background music is like a fucking art, and it will take you so much time. Like, sometimes I spend a certain time editing, and then I spend half an hour just searching for the perfect background music that's gonna not be too loud, too slow, too energetic, too low key. It's gotta not have certain types of beats that when the volume is lowered, they still kind of pitch out. It's very hard to explain, but if you take the time to pick the music for your videos, you know what I'm talking about. Like, some music, even though it is much lower than your tone of voice, there are certain sounds and instruments and percussions that definitely overpower your voice no matter how loud it is. It's like you're speaking and then there's a in the middle tuk 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 or something. That happens a lot with electronic music. The next things I learned relate to other people on the platform. So one of the things that you will definitely experience if you start YouTube is jealousy. I have found myself being jealous for other people for a slew of other things. For them being better at makeup than me, for them being better at editing, for growing faster than I am, even though, you know, I may feel that they're not putting in as much effort. All of these ugly, truly natural human things that we all experience will start to come out to the surface, and I certainly felt like an ugly ass person when thinking those thoughts. But then I realized, you know what, I'm human, it happens, jealousy is natural. The difference happens when you don't let that make you super bitter and into a toxic person. Like whenever I catch myself being salty about someone doing better than me, I just pull up another voice from my head that goes like, yeah, but she worked hard to get her makeup that good. Yeah, she worked hard to get that following. She worked hard to learn videography. You gotta realize that even if someone is more loved than you, more liked, if they have closer friendships in the community or whatnot, that doesn't take away anything from you. Like, there is plenty for everyone to go around. I know that sometimes the big YouTuber community feels like Game of Thrones, but that doesn't have to translate into our smaller community. Like, as I said, being jealous is natural. Envy is natural. Not natural would be to become a nasty person because of it. The thing that I realized is that I had a certain fear of missing out, where I wanted to be in line with what the cool kids got. And for you, the cool kids might be the bigger YouTubers. For me, it was the people that worked a lot with indie stuff, you know, the smaller YouTube crowd that is very popular at the moment. You guys probably know who I'm talking about. They were all trying all of this new indie makeup, essentially indie makeup that comes from the US. And I slowly had to realize that I don't have to play catch up. I don't have to buy all of the things they buy just to be on the same level, because that is not feasible. It's not feasible for me to always pay shipping, to have things come from the US to Europe. Most of these things, my brain was like, but you already have these in other palettes. Why do you want them? Like, what is wrong with you? Why would you want to create that waste? Like, what is going on? Why? So, you know, you gotta listen to reason more than to the will to be just like all of the other cool kids, which sometimes I feel that I thought I had grown out of that shit from high school, because the fuck not. No, I had a period where I was full of fear of missing out, and I didn't know what to do, and I wanted to be like the cool kids, but I wanted to do my own content. And then after a bit of like a mental struggle, it was kind of like homeostasis achieved, where I think that I kind of struck the balance between doing what I want and just, if I'm feeling inspired by other people and I want to try what they try, I first take it through my own filter of things, and only then maybe do I buy the shiny, sparkly, indie shit that they're using. Curse you, magpie brain. And another thing that I learned is that my imposter syndrome translates to everything. I have mad imposter syndrome with all of my creative hobbies. The only place where I don't feel it is at my job. As I said, capitalist worker bee dream. I always find it hard to contend with my own skill set and what I put out, and I put myself down so much in every creative hobby that I have, and even in the things that are not creative, like sports, like martial arts, everything else. There's just so much pressure that I put on myself that it becomes a burden, a paralyzing burden. And I've tried to deal with that in therapy, but I think I just have to contend with the fact that it is a core part of my personality that is not going away anytime soon, and that I have to keep creating in spite of it. I've actually talked about this on the Half Cousins podcast. I'm going to leave a link down below. The lovely Georgia Harris and Spiky Lips and Fat Hips Lacey invited me, and that was the topic I chose, perfectionism. And as I said, this pressure to keep creating, even though there are all of these frankly rude fucking things that I say to myself and that make me not want to create. Then the last thing that I want to talk about that I learned is truly the best. The cherry on top is the fact that if you're willing to make friends, you will make wonderful friends, wonderful links in this community. I have met so many beautiful people, and I meant beautiful on the inside, because I don't give a shit about how you look, truly. I mean high quality people, smart, talented, kind, funny. You just get to be exposed to this whole world of people that love sparkle dust as much as you do and have interesting things to say and interesting things to do, and they're willing to talk to you and you're willing to talk to them, and it's really nice to finally find a community of like-minded people regarding this shit. It's really nice, and I would recommend starting YouTube or at least becoming active in the beauty community just for that. Like, yeah, there's some toxicity going on in the community as a whole, some nastiness. It happens. It's human nature for us to turn nasty eventually. It's just people individually, great. In a crowd, holy shit, we show our worst tendencies as a race. It's just disgusting. I said, as long as you keep to yourself and you don't get involved into the drama, or just, you know, do like I do and just grab a bag of popcorn and munch it while watching other people burn to the ground. As long as you are kind to everybody else, people will be kind back to you, and you will make some wonderful friendships along the way, because friendship is magic. But yeah, that was basically most of the things that I learned in 1 year. Probably I learned more, but they were more subtle than this. These were the big ones. On an ending note, I'm so happy to have you guys here with me and have my YouTube friends and my Instagram friends, and just having fun creating and being part of something larger than me in this community. It's been a blessing to be here for a year and interact with you guys. Thank you guys so much for being here, for commenting, for interacting with me, for being my friends. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. And thank you so much for watching. Go ahead, have a wonderful evening, morning, whatever it is where you're from. Bye.